Iran's dramatic unveiling of its first-ever nuclear-powered submarine has stunned the international community and sent geopolitical shockwaves rippling far beyond the waters of the Persian Gulf. In a military ceremony steeped in symbolism and national pride, the Islamic Republic presented a vessel that is not just a marvel of maritime engineering but also a formidable symbol of power projection, strategic independence, and a defiant response to decades of international isolation. Tehran revealed this new platform in the port city of Bandar Abbas, its most prominent naval base on the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most vital energy choke points. The sleek and angular silhouette of the submarine immediately commanded attention, not only because of its design optimized for stealth and reduced sonar detection, but also because it signaled a stunning new era for Iran's naval ambitions. This is no ordinary submarine. Iran claims it is powered by a nuclear propulsion system, a technological leap that places it in an elite club of military powers, including the United States, Russia, China, France, and the United Kingdom. Nuclear propulsion allows a submarine to stay submerged for weeks or even months, travel thousands of nautical miles without surfacing, and carry out surveillance or strike operations anywhere across the globe without detection. Such capabilities dramatically changed the strategic balance, not just in the Middle East but globally. For decades, Iran's navy relied primarily on small, diesel-electric submarines like the Ghadar class, compact, quiet, and ideal for shallow waters but lacking the range and endurance required for global operations. The shift to a nuclear-powered platform signifies a redefinition of Iran's naval doctrine. Where once it was confined to protecting its immediate coastline and engaging in asymmetric warfare, Tehran now appears ready to contest influence in open waters, far from its territorial borders. What makes this development more striking is its geopolitical timing. Iran continues to face intense scrutiny over its nuclear program, with the West imposing punishing sanctions aimed at curbing its enrichment activities. The international consensus has long revolved around fears that Tehran might divert its civilian nuclear capabilities for military ends. By unveiling a nuclear submarine, Iran is sending an unambiguous message: its scientific and engineering sectors have advanced despite years of pressure, isolation, and economic siege. In fact, shortly before the public reveal, Iranian naval commanders announced that their forces had forced an American submarine to surface after allegedly detecting it operating submerged in Gulf waters. This bold claim, whether fully verifiable or not, was clearly intended to emphasize Iranian capabilities in undersea detection and counter-submarine warfare. It further positioned Iran as a vigilant and assertive actor capable of challenging even the most technologically advanced navies. The announcement has thrown defense establishments across the world into high alert. In Washington, senior Pentagon officials reportedly held emergency consultations to assess the submarine's potential threat vectors and deployment patterns. European powers expressed deep concern, citing risks of military escalation and potential violations of international nuclear agreements. Meanwhile, Israel responded with characteristic urgency, calling the unveiling a direct provocation and a clear challenge to regional stability. From a technical standpoint, building a nuclear submarine is among the most complex feats of military engineering. It requires miniaturized reactors that are both powerful and stable, advanced cooling systems to prevent overheating, radiation shielding to protect the crew, and a high degree of acoustic stealth to avoid detection. Nations like the United States and Russia have spent over half a century perfecting these systems. That Iran has reportedly succeeded, under the shadow of sanctions and embargoes, suggests either an extraordinary domestic research effort or the quiet assistance of external powers such as North Korea or Russia. Even if Tehran has not yet equipped the submarine with nuclear-armed missiles, the psychological effect alone is significant. A nuclear-powered vessel operating silently in the depths of the Indian Ocean or Eastern Mediterranean presents a constant strategic riddle. Adversaries must now prepare for the possibility that a hostile presence could lurk undetected near their shores, capable of launching torpedoes or cruise missiles at any moment. This uncertainty plays directly into Iran's long-standing strategy of strategic ambiguity. Over the years, Iran has cultivated a defense doctrine based on unpredictability, using proxies, drones, cyber attacks, and missile salvos to keep opponents off balance. The nuclear submarine amplifies this uncertainty to a new dimension, one that operates not in the open but deep beneath the sea. The mere existence of this vessel poses a dilemma for non-proliferation regimes. Under international agreements, nations are permitted to use nuclear technology for peaceful or propulsion-related purposes. However, the blurred line between propulsion and weaponization makes the presence of a nuclear submarine deeply uncomfortable for agencies like the International Atomic Energy Agency. It raises questions about whether Iran has access to weapons-grade fissile material, how it is managing that material, and whether safeguards are adequate. Yet, domestically, the narrative is very different. State media portrayed the unveiling as a proud moment of national achievement, broadcasting every frame of the submarine slicing through harbor waters beneath the Iranian flag. Military officials delivered speeches celebrating the scientific ingenuity and determination of the Iranian people, framing the submarine not just as a weapon, but as a symbol of sovereignty, pride, and resistance. This symbolism cannot be understated. For an Iranian public grappling with economic hardship, currency devaluation, political unrest, and global isolation, the submarine is a rare, tangible symbol of self-reliance and progress. It tells a story that Iran can achieve world-class technology even under siege and can join the ranks of the great naval powers on its own terms. This development also has the potential to reshape diplomacy. Nations that once dismissed Iran as a disruptive regional actor may now be forced to reassess their approach. A nuclear-powered submarine represents a level of technological maturity and strategic reach that demands engagement, whether through confrontation or negotiation. Tehran now holds a card that can be played in future talks on nuclear issues, regional security, and arms control. If it chooses to keep the vessel within its own waters, it may frame the submarine purely as a deterrent. But if it sends the sub into the Indian Ocean, or toward contested maritime zones, it will signal a clear intention to act like a global naval power. Russia and China will be watching carefully. Both nations have historically supported Iran's right to peaceful nuclear technology. But a nuclear submarine stretches that support into murkier waters. While Russia may quietly encourage any development that challenges American hegemony, and China may welcome any step toward a multipolar world order, either wants a new conflict to erupt in a region critical for energy transport and global trade. Back in the Gulf, Iran's neighbors are unlikely to sit idly by. Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain, all of whom have increased defense spending in recent years, may now seek to rapidly acquire anti-submarine warfare capabilities. These could include advanced sonar arrays, surveillance drones, attack submarines, and cooperation agreements with Western navies. Thus, the ripple effects of Iran's submarine program may stretch well beyond Tehran. It could catalyze a new round of naval militarization throughout the region. An arms race beneath the surface of the sea may soon be underway, one that mirrors and amplifies the already volatile dynamics on land and in the air. Strategic analysts and military observers around the world are now engaged in intensive scrutiny. They are studying the few released images, analyzing satellite data, tracking ship movements, and dissecting every technical phrase released by Iranian officials. Key questions remain unanswered: is the reactor uranium or plutonium-based? Does the vessel possess second strike capabilities? Was its design inspired by Chinese Type 093 or Russian Kilo-class submarines? With no detailed disclosures and only broad affirmations of capability, the mystery surrounding the submarine is as potent as the vessel itself. The unknown fuels speculation, and in strategic affairs, uncertainty often wields more influence than hard facts. What is undeniably clear is this: Iran's entrance into the nuclear submarine arena has changed the game. It has challenged assumptions about what a sanctioned nation can achieve. It has introduced a durable, mobile deterrent that will require adversaries to rethink deployments, budgets, and doctrines. And it has transformed Iran's navy from a coastal force into a potentially global actor with reach far beyond its territorial waters. Whether this marks the beginning of a new phase of power projection or a high-stakes bluff in the game of regional politics remains to be seen. But the waters of the Middle East, and the balance of power within them, will never be quite the same again.